1. What is the primary purpose of adult learning principles in a training program? A. To simplify complex content. B. To enhance knowledge retention. C. To provide an easy-to-follow structure. D. To avoid any practical application. 2. Which of the following best describes the principle of andragogy? A. The study of teaching children. The study of adult learning behaviors. C. The belief that adults should not participate in active learning. D. The belief that learning is best done by rote memorization. 3. In curriculum development, what is the first step in creating an effective course? A. Determining the course duration. B. Setting learning objectives. C. The belief that adults should not participate in active learning. D. Creating the course materials. 4. Which of the following is a key component of effective communication in training? A. Focusing only on the content being taught. B. Using one-way communication methods. C. Tailoring messages to the audience's needs. D. Limiting the use of visual aids. 5. What type of assessment is most commonly used to evaluate learners' understanding immediately after instruction? A. Formative assessment. B. Summative assessment. C. Diagnostic assessment. D. Norm-referenced assessment. 6. Which of the following is not an adult learning principle? A. Adults need to know why they are learning something. B. Adults learn best through discovery and problem solving. C. Adults prefer passive learning environments. D. Adults bring life experiences to the learning process. 7. When developing a course, what is the primary goal of formative evaluation? A. To measure the effectiveness of the course at the end. B. To gather feedback to improve the course during its delivery. C. To evaluate learners' final performance. D. To evaluate the course instructor's teaching methods. 8. In adult learning, what is the role of motivation? A. It only plays a small role in adult learning. B. It is not necessary if the content is engaging. C. It drives the willingness of adults to participate and learn. It should be secondary to content delivery. 9. Which of the following is an example of a behaviorally based objective? A. Understand the principles of effective communication. B. Be able to list the steps in a procedure. C. Apply the knowledge gained in a role-play scenario. D. Identify the components of a training program. 10. What is the role of the instructor in a learner-centered classroom? A. To provide all the information. B. To facilitate and guide learning. C. To focus primarily on classroom management. D. To enforce strict learning schedules. 11. Which of the following is a common characteristic of adult learners? A. The preference for passive learning. B. A tendency to resist change. C. A high level of self-direction. D. A desire for minimal feedback. 12. What is an example of a regulatory compliance requirement for a state officer training program? A. The curriculum must be approved by the relevant accrediting body. B. The course should include a certification upon completion. C. The course duration should be standardized across all states. D. Training must be delivered only in person. 13. What method is commonly used to assess whether training objectives have been met? A. Self-assessment by the learners. B. Observation of learners during the training. C. A post-training written test. D. A course completion certificate. 14. In the context of mentoring, which of the following is an essential aspect of the relationship? A. The mentor must know all answers to questions. B. The mentor provides emotional support as well as professional guidance. C. The mentor should be more experienced than the mentee. D. The mentor must assign tasks without feedback. 15. What is the best approach to create an inclusive learning environment? A. Use a one-size-fits-all teaching method. B. Adjust teaching techniques to meet the diverse needs of all learners. C. Focus on only the most common learning style. D. Maintain a rigid learning structure without flexibility. 16. Which type of feedback is most effective for improving performance in a learner-centered training environment? A. General praise. B. Specific, constructive feedback. C. Negative, critical feedback. D. No feedback at all. 17. How can instructors best assess the effectiveness of their teaching methods? A. By reviewing student scores only. B. By seeking feedback from learners about their learning experience. C. By following a strict syllabus without modification. D. By comparing current learners to past cohorts. 18. What is the role of continuous improvement in curriculum development? A. To ensure content is kept static and unchanged. B. To allow for periodic updates based on learner feedback. C. To limit the scope of the content covered. D. To eliminate the need for learner evaluations. 19. Which strategy helps adult learners apply their learning in real-life situations? A. Relying solely on theoretical content. B. Incorporating hands-on activities and simulations. C. Focusing only on lecture-based instruction. D. Avoiding practical application to keep the training simple. 20. In the context of communication, what is the primary function of active listening? A. To ensure learners remain quiet during instruction. B. To demonstrate empathy and understanding to learners. C. To evaluate learners' knowledge. D. To control the classroom environment. 21. What does the term evaluation methods refer to in adult learning? A. The process of delivering the course content. B. The techniques used to measure learner progress and course effectiveness. C. The development of the training program. D. The management of learners during the training. 22. What is the most important factor in designing an adult learning program? A. The length of the program. B. The delivery format. C. The specific needs of the learners. D. The cost of the program. 23. Which of the following is an example of a mentor's role? A. To teach all the technical skills required. B. To offer guidance and wisdom from personal experience. C. To perform tasks on behalf of the mentee. D. To evaluate the mentee's overall performance. 24. What method is most effective for helping learners internalize new information? A. Immediate testing after each lesson. B. Encouraging group discussions and peer learning. C. Providing a comprehensive lecture with no interruptions. D. Giving assignments only after the course is completed. 25. Which learning style requires providing visual aids and interactive tasks? A. Auditory learners. B. Kinesthetic learners. C. Visual learners. D. Logical learners. 26. What is an example of an effective regulatory compliance strategy? Adhering to state and federal training guidelines. E. Ignoring legal requirements for training. C. Focusing only on learner satisfaction. D. Avoiding any form of documentation. 27. How should trainers assess a learner's readiness to apply new skills? A. By giving them immediate tasks with no prior preparation. E. By providing feedback only at the end of the course. C. By assessing their ability to solve real-world problems with the skills learned. D. By observing their behavior without any structured assessment. 28. What is the best strategy for improving learner retention of training content? A. Repeating the same content in every session. B. Using varied instructional methods and real-life applications. C. Focusing on content delivery rather than learner interaction. D. Reducing the frequency of assessments. 29. How can a trainer best foster a supportive and constructive learning environment? A. By maintaining strict authority and control in the classroom. B. By encouraging open communication and providing constructive feedback. C. By avoiding any form of interaction with learners. D. By limiting the use of technology during training. 30. What is an essential component of regulatory compliance for state officer training? A. The training must be documented and aligned with state laws. B. The training must be optional for the participants. C. The course materials should be irrelevant to the job. D. The training must be conducted without regard to local regulations. 31. What is the primary difference between formative and summative assessments? A. Formative assessments evaluate learners' final performance. Summative assessments occur throughout the course. Formative assessments are used to monitor learners' progress, while summative assessments are used to evaluate their overall achievement. Formative assessments are always written tests, while summative assessments are not. D. Formative assessments are only used for theoretical knowledge,